Internet, Eric here. Just got done watching Ghostbusters 2016, the remake of the classic film from '84, I believe. Now I got an actual playlist here on my YouTube channel, and I have 4 videos. I have 2 reviews of the original films, part 1 and part 2, and I have 2 videos about the remake. One of them is my initial reaction to the trailer, and another one I did 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe. I read an Entertainment Weekly article, an interview with the cast, and I'd seen some more clips and more things have been released and more trailers, and I still tried my damnedest to pull some good out of it, because you really can't judge a film, remake or not. First off, people need to get off their asses about remakes. Remakes are going to happen. You're going to have to deal with it. It doesn't kill your childhood because you still have the VHS or the DVD or the Blu-ray or fucking Betamax, if they even did that back then, of the original films. So that's off my chest, because anyone who thinks that is retarded. They don't rape your childhood just because they remake a film. Anyways, in those critiquing videos or initial thoughts videos, I try to pull some good out of it. I see a lot of fucking bad, but I still found some good. And the thing is, you can't base a film on its trailer alone, because, like I said, I think I said it in my previous video, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and if I based something off of a trailer of, like Clerks 2, I thought that trailer was fucking garbage. I thought that movie looked fucking stupid, and I ended up loving Clerks 2. Clerks 2 is a favorite of mine in the View Askew-universe, series of films. But anyways, we're going to talk about Ghostbusters 2016, directed by Paul Feig, or Paul Feig, I don't know how to pronounce your name, and he directed like Bridesmaids and a lot of Melissa McCarthy films. Ghostbusters stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, fuck is her name? Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Chris Hemsworth, lots of cameos. That's basically it. And if you've seen Ghostbusters from 1984, if you haven't, go check out my review of it. You've seen this film, okay? It's a group of scientists and a black person. Sorry. They get together, capture ghosts, try to save New York City. That's all there is when it comes to nods to the original. Now, this one does take a lot of it in a different look, or a different direction. First off, we meet... if you're new to my channel, welcome, but there will be spoilers, and I got some notes here, so I'm probably going to spoil the hell out of it. So since this film's only been out for like maybe 2 weeks, but I'm not the first fucking YouTube video reviewing it, so watch at your own risk. Anyways, basically, Kristen Wiig's character is working at a college, and long ago she wrote a paranormal book with Melissa McCarthy, and she's put that away. She's, she wants it to be all part of her past, because she wants to be taken serious, with her job at the college, and that comes back to haunt her. They find out about it. She loses her job because of it, because they want to take her to be taken seriously. Before that, she goes to Melissa McCarthy, meets Kate McKinnon, her new partner, and she's asking Melissa McCarthy to get rid of the book, while Melissa McCarthy is still in the field of studying ghosts with Kate McKinnon. Eventually, like I said, Kristen Wiig is fired because they go to a place where a haunting has occurred. The video is uploaded to YouTube. Everybody sees it. That's why Kristen Wiig is fired. So then they go into, they work together to fight the ghosts. Eventually, Leslie Jones shows up. She's a subway worker. She works like the counter, when you give the tickets and stuff. Leslie has witnessed ghosts, meets the Ghostbusters, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's a side story with the villain. I'll get to that. Alright, let's get to my notes. And I have quite a bit of notes, and here we go. Well, now, first off, the opening sequence. The opening sequence starts off with a tour of an old building, and it's a supposed haunted house. And what I liked here, this was actually good. I liked the mood it set. I liked you know, the story the tour guide was telling to the people, you know, the past history and stuff. That was really cool. After everybody leaves, you know, he's walking through and he notices, you know, the ghost happening. There's lots of good jump scares here. The man is getting tossed around the building by the ghost. And then, of course, he looks at the camera and he screams, and just like the original Ghostbusters. So that was a cool nod to the original film, but it was also a good way of making it their own. You know, I liked the score here. It was really well done. Seeing him getting tossed back and forth wasn't too bad. It wasn't a lot of noticeable like wires or whatever. So that was really good. It opens up with the classic theme, which I liked. You know, it's very gives you that little bit of a feel of the original film, except when they just show the word Ghostbusters, and it's just a bland title card. So kind of disappointing. All right. When we first meet, we first meet Kristen Wiig. Like I said, she's just Kristen Wiig. I've never seen any of these people act. All right, the four of them, like on Saturday Night Live. I quit watching Saturday Night Live decades ago, so I don't know anything about, you know, their films or anything like that. And we meet Kristen Wiig. She's just kind of a nerd, stereotypical professor. Finds out about her book. She goes to meet Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy is very childish with her, you know, because Kristen is being an adult, asking her nicely to please, you know, let's get rid of this book. It's ruining my career. And Melissa McCarthy is just kind of a whiny brat. And she's very, very unlikable here. Very childish with her confrontation with Kristen Wiig. I mean, Wiig is very believable, you know, like I said, but McCarthy is just so annoying. And basically, the most of this confrontation goes from Wiig asking McCarthy, please take this, you know, take the book down. And McCarthy is more pissed about her Chinese food being late and not getting enough wontons in her soup. So that's the first joke we see from Melissa McCarthy. And that right there gives me the tone of the film. So I'm like, okay. So the jokes are probably going to be pretty cheap and pretty lame. Okay? But you know what? It's 10 minutes in. Let's keep going. We see Kate McKinnon. And I said in my previous videos about this, I think she's going to be fucking fun. There's some sex appeal to her. There's very much likability. And when we see her being introduced, it's a great way. Great way for her to be introduced. And she's got a presence here that's fun. And I stand by that throughout the entire film. Kate McKinnon is so much fun here. What's not fun is the next joke. And what that is, Melissa McCarthy and Kate McKinnon, they take Kristen Wiig to what they believe is a recording of a ghost. And Kate McKinnon, you know, and Melissa McCarthy have Kristen Wiig like listening, and suddenly you hear a fart. So the first major joke is a fart joke. No, it's not a fart joke. It's a queef joke. Because Kate McKinnon has to say, well, would it be any better if I told you that the noise was coming from the front? So we get a vagina fart joke. It tells you what the type of humor we're getting here. Anyways, okay. The group goes to the building where it was haunted in the beginning. They meet Ed Begley Jr. They find out and they're asking for his character. They're asking, you know, is Ed here? And some guy's like, oh no, Ed's been dead for 15 years. So they're like, haha, proof right there that ghosts exist. Kristen Wiig, you talk to a ghost, blah, blah, blah. And then here comes Ed Begley Jr. And they're like, no, he's right there. He's like, oh, that's Ed Jr. This is the comedy we're going to be working with now. You thought the vagina fart joke was bad, and the Ed Jr. joke was bad. The next joke we get is a pooping joke. The man was so scared, you know, when he first saw the joke, he pooped himself. And then Kate McKinnon's like, oh, well, you know, that does happen unless you eat bad Mexican food or some shit like that. So it's... In the first 20 minutes... We get Melissa McCarthy pissed about her wontons. We get a vagina fart joke and a poop in your pants joke. And I still have an hour and 40 to go. So, like I said, that was the disappointment so far. But you know what? Maybe that's just me. I don't find fart jokes funny. I've never liked a poop joke. They're stupid. They're childish humor. If this is what Paul Feig is known for, because I know Bridesmaids has got some gross out humor, good for him. We'll see where this is taking us. Now, when they finally see the ghost, I still stand by what I said. I love the way the ghosts look in this film. I really do. A lot of people were pissed that it was like the Scooby-Doo movie ghost look, you know, with the blue and the white light and stuff like that. I don't care. I still stand by. I love how the ghosts look here. You know, the main ghosts. Let's see here. There's an ongoing joke where, you know, Chris Hemsworth is finally hired to be the receptionist. And it's kind of neat. You know, he's Thor. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. And he's going to be like this dumbass, you know, receptionist. So kind of role reversal. And I thought that was great. But instead, he's like completely retarded. And it just goes to be annoying. Like there's a bit where he's looking in the fish tank and he's trying to, you know, grab the fish. And he doesn't understand what the fuck's going on. He doesn't understand how to answer a phone. None of this stuff. And the jokes just keep getting worse and worse. And it just shows how stupid this character is. And it's not funny stupid. It's just annoying stupid. It's childish stupid. God. So far, you know, the ghosts look real. At least that's good. After they, you know, they deal with the ghost, they upload the video to YouTube, I said. And I think this was a reshoot because, you know, after the initial hatred, you know, that came out because, you know, all female Ghostbusters, all this stupid shit. They talk about some of the comments on YouTube. And one of the comments was, ain't no bitches gonna hunt no ghosts. And, of course, that was a shot taking at a lot of the people saying we can't have all-female Ghostbusters. So that was kind of a, like, you know, Paul Feig saying fuck you to a lot of the haters, which I thought was cool. But then they do it again. They upload a second YouTube video, and it's Melissa McCarthy saying, oh, you can't, you know, don't listen to these guys. It's basically, you know, a bunch of stoners up at 2 in the morning, you know, bitching about something. So it was okay the first time, but then after they did it the second time, it just kind of lost its point. Yeah, we got more of this. I'm going to need it. There's this ongoing joke that Kristen Wiig is, you know, obviously in love with Chris Hemsworth because he's cute. And initially, you know, first off, it comes off as annoying. After that, it gets kind of cute, but then it falls back on annoying. Unnecessary. Fuck. There was a cool nod to them living in the firehouse. You know, the firehouse from the original films. They're taking around, and everybody's happy about the firehouse, this and that. And they're like, oh, we can't afford the $12,000 a month to, you know, be able to rent it out. So I was wondering where they were going to go, and they end up going like right above the Chinese restaurant. You know, where Melissa McCarthy keeps getting her food from. Which, you know, I thought that was funny. I liked how they couldn't afford the classic firehouse, so they have to live above, you know, the Chinese restaurant. But, of course, it means more fucking wonton jokes, which is bad. Eventually, they meet Leslie Jones. Now, here's where I talk about Leslie Jones. In my other two videos about this film, I thought Leslie Jones was going to be, like, the bane of my existence. Because in the previews, it seemed like she was just there to be loud, be obnoxious, to scream. You know, the stereotypical, like, black woman. She's not. And that's great. This was a pleasant surprise. Leslie Jones, I'm not going to lie. Now, there are those annoying scenes, like the scene where Melissa McCarthy is, you know, possessed. You see it in the fucking trailer, and she says, get out of my friend, ghost. And she yells it and slaps her. And then she says, the power of Patty compels you, because her name's Patty, and she slaps her again. The ghost flies away. I've come to see, or come to realize, that that's not the character. That is Leslie Jones as an actress. Because what I've seen, like, clips of, she's very loud, and she's very brass. So, it's not the writing, that's not the character. Leslie Jones, that's just how Leslie Jones performs. And I will stand here and tell you people, you internet right there, the two people that are watching this video, Leslie Jones is not horrible in this film. If you take away that scene, and then the scene that I've mentioned before when they're in the rock concert, where she tries to body surf and everybody moves, and she says, I don't know if it's a race thing or a woman thing, I'm pissed off. She's likable here. I'm not going to fucking lie. She's very likable. She's not great, but I'll sit here and say, other than Kate McKinnon, who is my favorite character here, other than Kate McKinnon, the only laughs, or more so chuckles I got, were from Leslie Jones. Holy shit. Leslie Jones, anything bad I've said about you, which weren't really bad, but I'm just like, they're not making you look good. I salute you. You are not as bad as the marketing made you look. Now, yeah, she has a lot of good one-liners here. She's very likable. I don't like the whole, they made her an expert in New York history. What the fuck ever, though. It's Ghostbusters. So, but like I said, Leslie Jones, very likable here. Gotta give props to her. So they meet Leslie Jones, and then, they go to where Leslie first saw a ghost. And that's a nice little sequence where they're trying to catch the ghost, and they make Kristen Wiig be the first one to hold, like, the laser. And a nice little retort between her and Kate McKinnon. Kristen Wiig's like, why am I the one holding it? And Kate McKinnon's like, because you have the longest arms. So, little quips like that back and forth are really funny in this movie. Or at least likable. Excuse me. We see how we see like a little nod to the Ghostbusters logo. The ghost with this thing. It was done by some graffiti that happened at, the subway station that Leslie Jones works at. I liked that. It was another cool nod. We finally see them like testing out the proton packs, and like in an alley, and that's Melissa McCarthy pretty much not being able to control it, and she's flying around through the air. Didn't really care for that because it's you can tell she's on wires. You can see she's flying around, and it's very cheesy. Let's talk about Bill Murray. Bill Murray shows up in a cameo. Like I said, all of the original stars, other than Rick Moranis and of course Harold Ramis, show up in cameos. And we have Bill Murray. Bill Murray plays a man who tries to debunk all paranormal phenomena. And when I found out that's what he would be playing, when they introduce him, I thought maybe this is like the Mr. Peck character from the beginning, the guy from the the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, the antagonist from the first film. This might be a cool twist. Bill Murray's performance here sucked. He was he was supposed to be unlikable, but his performance seemed forced. It seemed like he didn't want to be there. You could tell he just wanted to have a paycheck, because he held out. This is what makes it sad. You held out on Ghostbusters 3 for so long, and sadly Harold Ramis passed away, so it's never going to get made. So they do this remake, what have you, and then you finally agree to do a cameo, and this is your performance, so wooden, so unlikable. Just like, seriously, you put in more effort in your cameo in Zombieland. It's so disappointing. So I'm glad what happened to his character happened. I won't spoil it, but it got him out of the fucking film, because I did not like his cameo at all. Eventually we get to them. You see it in the trailers. They're trying to catch some ghosts at a rock concert, like an offshoot of Ozfest, and some of it was lame. I liked, like, they're trying to catch this giant dragon, type ghost. And again, I like the way the ghost looked. This time this ghost is the type of a neon green. Love the look of it. Leslie Jones again. Let's just say, she does that stage dive joke, which has been fucking done since Chris Farley or even before. You get a big groan after that. But as she stands up, we've seen this in the trailer, she stands up and the ghost, the dragon, is like right on her shoulders. And her reaction is actually really funny. Her reaction is like, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to go home, we're not going to talk about this. And she's slowly walking away, with the dragon or demon on her shoulder. And that's fine. That makes the joke funny. She's very, Basically, she's, you know, ostrich in its head with its head in the sand. You know, like, it's not happening, I'm ignoring this, let's get out of here. I liked it. I liked the performance. It was really fun. But then, of course, you have, you know, the two people, you know, the two people in the crowd, you know, they have the selfie stick and they're trying to take the selfie over. That just kind of defeats it. But then again, they're at like an Ozfest type concert, so the crowd is thinking it's part of the show, which explains it. But I thought that selfie joke was retarded. And then, of course, you see Ozzy Osbourne in the background for backstage for like 5 seconds. He yells, "Sharon, something's wrong with the concert," or "this is stupid," whatever. It's a waste of time. It's a stupid cameo. That's it. Now, you know, eventually they go to a hotel, and they're going to find out about the villain, the main villain of the film. They go to meet him. And first off, the main villain sucks. Whoever this actor is, your performance is horrible. It seems like he's like this nerd that's been picked on, you know, through all of his life. He wants to, you know, bring all the ghosts out of, you know, the paranormal dimension or whatever to take over the world, and he can control them, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. It's stupid. I didn't pay attention because the character is so unlikable. You got to have a good villain in a film, and he's not a good villain at all. But when they go to find out where he is, they meet with the receptionist in the hotel or whatever, and it's played by Annie Potts, who was Janine in the original film. And other than Bill Murray, who sucked, Annie Potts is in this film for like 30 seconds. And she's playing the same character, the annoying receptionist, and I loved it. Annie Potts was great. I really liked her brief cameo, her little, you know, her pissed off attitude. It was fun. It brought me back to the original film. So Annie Potts, you did good. Bill Murray, you suck. I already mentioned when Melissa McCarthy was possessed. Not very good. I liked when she was fighting Kate McKinnon. She grabs her by the throat and like throws her out the window and holds her there. That's fine until they have Leslie Jones, you know, yelling and screaming to help her. That kind of took me out. I didn't like the head turning around like Melissa McCarthy is The Exorcist, but that's just me. So overall, and then, you know, Kevin, which is Chris Hemsworth, you know, the stupid guy, the receptionist, he gets possessed and drives away on a motorcycle to prove that he's not the bad guy. He like does a wheelie and drives away. I wish there could have been so much more. I just wrote that it was meh. Nothing special. Now, let's just cut to the third act when all the ghosts have been released. Coming out, you know, attacking everybody in New York City. Kristen Wiig is trying to find a taxi, and she yells taxi. It's Dan Aykroyd as a taxi driver, and she talks about how there's ghosts everywhere, and he's like, "Oh no, those are just class 5, you know, roaming vapors. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. We're not going to Chinatown," and drives away. Waste of a cameo. Kind of neat because, you know, the way he babbled was fast like the original film, but overall, it was just a waste of time. We do meet Slimer. Slimer steals their car and drives it away with no legs. We see him later with a girlfriend. Like, literally looks like Slimer with just a fucking bouffant wig and some red lipstick. Kind of dumb, but what have you. There is a scene where now they're fighting all the ghosts. So like I said, I liked the ghosts, the way they looked. So what do? We have the girls fighting possessed, like Macy's Day Parade balloons. And some of them look cool, like a pumpkin, like morphed into, like, you know, monster teeth. And they're shooting their lasers at the balloons, and they don't cut the balloons right away. I mean, first thing I thought of, those were some strong fucking balloons. So eventually they do destroy them. And one of the balloons is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They shoot him. He deflates and smushes them. Like the three, it was Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy, and Leslie Jones all get smushed by her. And we get that stupid shot of, like, under the cement, so we see their faces, like, smushed like this, and they're talking, and they're saying, "Oh, hell no, I can't breathe, blah, blah, blah." And then they're saved by Kristen Wiig stabbing the balloon right in the ball sack, and it deflates and saves them. Ugh. We have another bad joke where that demon ghost returns and it grabs Melissa McCarthy, and she's flying around, and instead of her being, scared, saying save me, something like that, she just complains about, oh, I lost my glasses, I can't find my glasses, oh, they're right here in my hand. The fucking jokes here in this film, for the most part, are just garbage. I don't know who the fuck wrote this. Unless it's geared towards children. I don't know if this film is geared towards children or not. But me as a 34-year-old man doesn't find that funny. Now, what I did like though, we get, all the Ghostbusters are taking out the ghosts. And like I said, I loved Kate McKinnon's character. I wish she was in it more. I wish they gave her more. And I think maybe the test audiences loved her so much. They gave Kate McKinnon her own little sequence of catching the ghosts. First off, just like the trailer, I loved how she pulls out her guns and she licks one of the guns. I'm like, wow, that's badass, that's fun. And she's zapping the ghosts like they're lassos, and she's throwing them around and taking them out. That was fun. That was really fun. And then, of course, that's followed by Melissa McCarthy yelling and screaming, saying, basically, I don't like you, I'm going to kick your ass, this and that. She's yelling this to all the ghosts. And the performance here was so bad, it reminded me of I Know What You Did Last Summer, if you've ever seen that film. And it's Jennifer Love Hewitt's, what are you waiting for, huh? Come and get us, what are you waiting for? And it's just, it was like the same exact fucking scene. It's the same exact grating performance. So I'm like, you had this cool action sequence by Kate McKinnon, and then you followed up with that garbage. I'm just like, that just takes you out, and it's so bad. They finally meet the villain. The villain has died earlier, so now he's a ghost, and he was the one that possessed McCarthy and possessed Hemsworth, and they finally free Hemsworth from the possession. And it's the whole, he's going to take the form of, the Destructor that we saw in the original film. And once again, Leslie Jones, very good. She's like, why don't you just take the form of something cute? And we get a cartoon effect, like literally animated cartoon effect of the Ghostbusters sign. And that cartoon turns into a gigantic Godzilla-sized version of the Ghostbusters sign. I go back and forth on this. When he's really, really big, he walks around, and in the way he moves, it looks like he's just like a giant pillowcase. And that looked kind of stupid. But after they zapped him, and he started to burn, and the burn effects were great. And I really liked the way that looked. So again, like I mentioned before with the Kate McKinnon sequence, you take something good, and then you throw in something stupid. So you have that cool look of him burning and everything. They finally, they set off like an atom bomb type of thing that Kate McKinnon fixed to suck all the ghosts back into their dimension. And you got the villain holding on, the ghost holding on to two buildings, and he can't get pulled in. So what do? They turn on their proton packs, and they shoot him in the dick. I'm not lying. They shoot him in the dick. He lets go and goes through. Grabs Melissa McCarthy on the way. Kristen Wiig has to go in to save her, just like the fucking scene in Poltergeist. She got something wrapped around her, blah, blah, blah. Pulls her out. Now, first off, God damn it. A lot of the actors and actresses and writers and director of this film say this isn't a movie about girl power and female power, even though it really is. And again, I don't give a shit that it's all female Ghostbusters. But when you base a lot of what your scenes are, or a lot of what your characters are, you can't deny that. Like, a lot of the male characters are assholes. Like the dean of, I'm sorry, I'm going back. The dean of the college. He's a major dick, and he's a childish dick towards the women. So they're saying men are dicks. You got Chris Hemsworth being a fucking retard. Okay, fine. That's stupid. God. So you have that. And then the final nail in the coffin of saying, you know, basically it's female empowerment is you're going to shoot the male villain ghost right in the dick to defeat him. You can't say that this is basically a fuck you to all the male haters or something like that. I don't really care, but just I thought the fact that they just shot him in the dick. First off, he's a ghost. Does he really have a dick or nuts? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Like I said, he looked like a fucking pillowcase. But still, they shot him in the dick. He gets sucked in. They save Melissa McCarthy. They pull, you know, they get pulled out, and their hair's all white, kind of like, you know, what is it? In Poltergeist, does the mom have like the white streak in her hair? Or like Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy has a white streak in her hair. Okay, I guess. And after that, we finally get a funny Chris Hemsworth joke where basically he thinks he's part of the Ghostbusters, but instead of like the final act of saving everybody, he was across the street getting a sandwich. That was fine. I like that. At the end of the film, they have enough money because you know, New York loves them. They have enough money. They get to move into the firehouse. We finally see Ernie Hudson show up, and he plays Patty, Leslie Jones's uncle, and he owns a funeral home. The Ecto-1, their car is actually a hearse, and it got thrown into the other dimension, you know, during all this fight. And basically, Ernie Hudson shows up, yells at Leslie Jones, saying, "I got funerals to attend to," blah blah blah. It was fine. It was likable. It was like 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, and it was likable. I love Ernie Hudson. It was funny. I loved seeing them pander at each other. And that was the end of the film. The rest of the film is, you know, we see the credits with scenes superimposed. You know, some of it was stupid. A lot of it was, what the fuck is his name? Kate McKinnon showing off her new, weapons that they're gonna do. And the best cameo here. The only time in this film, an hour and 57 minutes, where I laughed out loud was Sigourney Weaver showing up as Kate McKinnon's mentor. Again, brief cameo. They had some good chemistry. They high-fived. Sigourney Weaver says, "I hate when you do that." I laughed out loud. I love Sigourney Weaver's brief cameo. It was great. And then the rest of the credits is like a dance sequence with a possessed Hemsworth. And there is a scene where, you know, Hemsworth is possessed, and he has all the cops in the fire department and the army, and he shoots them and he freezes them, and they're basically stuck like this, you know, like the Saturday Night Live, or not Saturday Night Live, the Saturday Night Fever pose. And you think that they're just frozen. Well, I think this was a deleted scene, because you see an entire dance sequence with Chris Hemsworth making them move and stuff like that through the credits. I'm glad that wasn't in the film, because that would have been retarded. It was stupid enough seeing that through the credits. After the credits, they set up for a sequel. Hemsworth is still retarded, but they're now called the Ghostbusters. Literally, Leslie Jones hears something, you know, on her headphones on like the machine, and she asks, you know, what does Zool mean? Zool being a character from the first film, you know, a ghost. And that's it. So, wow, I've been talking 33 fucking minutes. Holy shit. So I'm going to cut this short. Ghostbusters 2016. It's not 100% trash, like everybody's saying it is. It's not garbage, but it's not good, in my opinion. I didn't like it. I will not give this a passing grade. I will never watch it again. I didn't really have fun with it. Like I said, Kate McKinnon was great. Loved her character. Leslie Jones, man, you do not deserve any of the hate that you were getting. Everyone bashing her on fucking Twitter, you know, with racist comments and saying, you know, you deserve to die and this and that. The internet's stupid, okay? I mean, who am I to say anything? I'm a big fat guy right now in, you know, storage area in my basement discussing Ghostbusters 2016. But you know what? These are all people who either haven't seen the film or who have such a hard-on for the first film, they felt the need to attack Leslie Jones. And like I said before, the dislike for Leslie Jones at first was me seeing what I saw in the trailer. She doesn't deserve the hate. She has a lot of good one-liners. She's very likable in this film. So you got Kate McKinnon, you got Leslie Jones, surprising to say, and you got some cool-looking ghosts. You got a likable Sigourney Weaver cameo. But overall, there's more bad than, you know, you got a fucking queef joke. You got poop jokes. You got a stupid Ozzy Osbourne cameo. Slimer gets a girlfriend. Melissa McCarthy is very unlikable here. She's very childish. Her, like I said, to her, I Know What You Did Last Summer scene is just so ad nauseum. It's bad. But yeah, in the end, let me say this. If whoever's viewing this video right now, if you're like maybe 10 or years old or younger, you might enjoy this film. If you're my age, unless you like poop and, you know, queef jokes, this might be the one for you, but was not the one for me. So in the end, Ghostbusters. Sorry. Answer the call. I will not ever again. Can't give it a passing grade. Was not a fun experience. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Wow, 36 minutes. Wow, this is probably my longest video ever. And it wasn't worth it. Anyways, hopefully you stayed with me for this amount of time. I didn't expect this to be this long. Please like, subscribe, tell Grandma and Aunt Sally, all that crap. And until next time, well, cheers. And who are you going to call? Not Paul Feig.